MotoAmerica kicks off the second half of its season right here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, where all 5 classes will be challenged by the famous corkscrew this weekend. I'm Hannah Lopa. Welcome to Monterey, California, and round number 6 of Inside MotoAmerica. Less than 30 miles east of the Pacific Ocean and 120 miles south of San Francisco sits the WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, where all 5 classes will be challenged by this 2.2-mile road course featuring 11 turns, including the famed corkscrew. Back in mid-June at the Utah Motorsports campus, Tony Elias continued his run of wins by capturing both EBC Superbike races to extend his points lead. In the Supersport class, Bobby Fong beat Race 1 winner Hayden Gillum. And in the Liqui Junior Cup class, Dallas Daniels was finally able to beat Rocco Landers for his first win of the season. Dallas Daniels is one of our young riders who shows promise for years to come. He's made his way onto the podium in 7 out of the last 8 races and enters the second half of the season sitting second in the championship point standings. Here, he gives us a turn-by-turn tour of Laguna Seca.
Hi, I'm Dallas Daniels, here with Quarterly Racing On-Track Development, and I'm going to give you guys a turn-by-turn of Laguna Seca. So, here we are going down the front straight, heading up into turn 1, which is actually a pretty tricky corner for a Superbike or a 600 on our bikes. It's not too technical or anything. Real fast left-hander, wide open through there. Heading down into turn 2, which is a double apex left. Pretty hard braking from the long front straightaway, bang a couple down gears. You want to let it kind of drift up and then come back and hit the last apex because it really tightens up there at the end. Then the short straight to turn 3, which looks like it's very fast, but it actually tightens up on the exit going onto the short straight to turn 4, which makes for a very technical, tight, fun turn. To a real fast right-hander onto a back straightaway, which we barely even shut off for on our bikes. And then onto the back straight here, going down into turn 5s. This straightaway is not too technical for us, our bikes being a little slower, but this left-hander down here, we go down in, grab 1 down gear, and pretty much back to wide open. It's really fast, really banked. You can get some really good grip, good lines down through there. And then kind of up the hill down into the dip. This is another really fast corner for us. And then you got to get a really good drive out of here to get up the long hill to the corkscrew. This looks a lot steeper than it actually is, so on our bikes you want to get as good as run as possible out of the dip. And then up to what I think is the most exciting corner, the corkscrew. And this is kind of cool because you go down, you kind of drop into it, and when you make the left, it's pretty much like a roller coaster downhill and to the right. It really drops off, and it'll actually lift the front wheel off the ground into the right, which is pretty cool. So coming down the corkscrew into Rainy Curve, they call it, which is really a big bank left, and on our bikes is a very fast corner. No braking, no down gearing, just try to keep as much speed up as you can to get off the exit good because it kind of tightens up going to the right-hander before the last corner. And the cool thing about the right-hander here is it's really banked and it kind of goes downhill into good banking, so you can really keep good speed up through there, and it's a really fun corner. You don't have to slow down very much. You keep good speed through there onto the short straight to the last corner. And the last corner here, I think, is one of the most trickier corners on the track because it's a second gear corner. You're coming from a bunch of speed down the hill, and you got to get all it stopped here, get it turned, and get onto the front straightaway because you want the best run possible to get to the finish line so you can have as much speed going across the line to, win the race. And then here we go down the front straightaway, the finish line, and that's a lap around Laguna Seca.
If there was a turn named after me, it would be a fast, flowy one, a little bit cambered.
A really tight turn, like in and out, because I don't really like the long turns. I like just kind of like in and out.
some sort of kink with a cresting hill where the winglets are keeping the front end down and I can get an advantage on people.
If there was a turn named after me, it would be really fast and require like zero talent to negotiate successfully.
It would be a fast turn, a fast sweeper. I mean, that's my favorite type of turn. Just wide open, sliding maybe a little bit, just a really fast, fun turn.
Like the last turn at Laguna Seca, because it's a real tight turn, just like in and out, and that's kind of like more my style.
Probably really tight and really aggressive, really fast, and just have to basically just hang it out there and hope for the best. Hopefully you come out on the other side unscathed and make it.
If I had a turn named after me, it would be like the corkscrew kind of at Pittsburgh, the left right-hander.
If there's a turn named after me, it's gonna be left. I can't go right. I just can't go right.
The turn would definitely be all over the place.
Really fast and really long, I guess.
Probably a big old sweeper where you're on a knee for a long time carrying a bunch of corner speed. That's fun for me.
It would be a downhill corner, a little bit bumpy, and very challenging on the entrance. A lot like turn 9 over there.
Welcome back to WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca and round 6 of the MotoAmerica season. Owensboro, Kentucky holds a special place in race fans' hearts. It's where Nicky Hayden was born and a memorial statue was built in his honor. There's a group of riders that live, train, and support each other in Owensboro, where they can feel the legacy of a racing family helping them get better every day.
Really, Owensboro was really a race hub for NASCAR to start with. There was Michael and Darrell Waltrip, Jeremy Mayfield, 3 Green brothers, and I think one of the key success is all kinds of dirt tracks, car dirt tracks and stuff, and then we raced fair races. We was racing about 45 times a year.
It's been great because land and tracks and stuff was so nice, and people would never complain about if you were dusting out their neighborhood or, you know, we started riding too early. They kind of were cool with it. So I guess what you'd say, that people here are just a lot more relaxed.
Having Roger and having Nicky whenever he was around and having Tommy and them, it's a big help, you know, because there's so much experience at that point in the room.
It's really cool to see like their work ethic and how their dad brought them up, and they all just feed off each other. They pushed each other every day to be better, and it's nice to live around those guys and to watch what they do and then try to replicate that yourself.
Well, like I always kept 2 or 3 racetracks at my house so they could come train with my kids and they could see, you know, our work habits. It's the main thing I want to show them. It's not like nobody owes you anything. And then now JD comes in, and JD's, I mean, got the probably the best work habits of anybody I know right now. And he says he learned a lot of it from Tommy, Nicky, and Roger. And then now we got Jake Lewis that's moved up here from Princeton, and we got Nick McFadden. But they come to my house and train and ride sometimes and watch and bicycle with my kids, and I just tell them keep working hard.
The stuff that we're doing is hard. I mean it's hot and it's hard, but to have a group of guys to still really push you is awesome. You don't want to have a bad day, because if you're going slow or whatever, you never hear the end of it. It doesn't matter if it's 2 weeks from now and we've rode 5 times. I mean, it's oh, remember 2 weeks ago when I dropped you up that hill?
Every day that we're riding with each other, it's more like a competition and like a race. So I feel like that kind of helps when it comes to the MotoAmerica races. You know, you look forward to riding with your buddies, and it so happens that they're all pro motorcycle racers too.
They're almost like little brothers, but it's been cool, and now, you know, now they ask some questions, and somebody always helped me, so you don't ever want to forget where you come from. And, you know, since I'm not racing anymore, really, it's up to them to keep the Owensboro legacy going, so I want to make sure it stays on the map.
Keeping the Owensboro legacy alive and well this weekend, JD Beach is testing the limits of machine and man. Not only will JD be racing in the MotoAmerica Superbike class, he's making his Motul FIM Superbike World Championship Series debut, which is sharing the track at Laguna Seca over the weekend. No one is more dedicated to his craft than JD. His first foray into the World Superbike race will make him the 70th U.S. rider to start a race in the series. 6 of them have been crowned as World Superbike champions, while a further 4 also picked up race wins. The previous American to make his debut was Josh Herrin at last season's Geico U.S. round. There's just a small change on the bike for him to race in World Superbike. Here's Richard Stamboli to tell us what it is with MotoAmerica Tech.
Here we are at Laguna Seca, and we're actually this weekend we're a wild card entry in World Superbike. The differences between the World Superbike and our MotoAmerica bike, they set up their power a little different than we do to take advantage of maybe more mid-range and less top end. So you're limited on RPM where we're not in MotoAmerica. In MotoAmerica we run excess 15,000. World Superbike, the rules state that it's 14.7. Can never be very much over it. Every session, tech comes around and you'll see these wires run through here. This is our Morelli here. This takes all the data and transfers it to this rev limit logger. And through this little cable here, they'll come over and they'll unload the data every single session, and they can analyze it and see if anybody's over. And if you're over, you'll get penalized. And if you're over in the race, then you'll get disqualified.
Let's join race number 1. Here's Greg and Jason.
Now we have a 3-rider battle. Is interesting, man, is JD Beach is just hanging right there, isn't he?
And Tony has a long look over his shoulder. I'm not really sure what that's for. I mean, it's really unusual to see him do that. Like, he took a big look to see who was back there, what was going on, maybe just to see how many guys were still in that group. So hopefully he doesn't have a problem. But I think that the guy that's going to be comfortable with this is, here you go, Garrett Gerloff's taking a shot into turn 5 right now.
On the inside, he bends it in. You can see the aggressive nature of which Garrett Gerloff snatched that brake lever, sending his R1 sideways. Is Tony going to let him have it? No. He'll take it over in 6.
Oh.
Ooh, they were running out of real estate.
But that's what happens.
And that's going to allow Beaubier to sneak on through. Big wheelie from Beaubier's R1. Who's going to have it going into the corkscrew? Beaubier's got the line. He bends it in. He has it for the moment, and really Elias had to check up for a second.
He did so good to control his apex speed to Cameron Beaubier there at the top. I was just getting ready to say, the guy who looks the most relaxed and happy right now, and the fact that Tony has not got away, is Cameron Beaubier. His teammate brought him back up to the rear wheel of Tony Elias, and I'm kind of wondering, Greg, does Tony have a problem? We've seen this from him before. Tony has this innate ability to fall back a little bit if he wants to, and always finds that way of coming back into the race. So we're going to continue to watch, and as I say that, he goes right back by Cameron. Let's see if Cameron lets go of the lever when they get down here into turn 2. Nope, he's not able to do it.
Elias using the strength of the GSXR 1000, that grunt off the corner out of turn 11, which gets him by Beaubier into turn number 2. So if Tony Elias has something going on, which I think, Jason, is more, it would be tire wear more than anything, because it's only been a couple tenths of a second that have varied from his fastest lap. So Tony trying to square that corner up and get the drive he wants. He's got it. Is he going to switch to the inside, or is Tony going to have to check up a little bit? Roll that throttle off. There goes Tony. Dive bomb to the apex of 2. Oh, that was a late one. That was really, really late. Cameron, was he expecting it?
Do.
Yep, there he goes.
Yeah, and the thing is that Cameron, and here comes Tony Elias again down into turn 3. He just has the ability to do that. Cameron's going to square it back up now, and we're going to see this. We saw that a couple of laps ago. When Cameron came out of turn 11 that time, I liked the fact that he moved over to the left. You've got to try to do something to block Tony from going by. If you cover that inside, make him go down the outside. Now Cameron is in trouble because he's got his teammate Garrett Gerloff going up underneath him into turn 5. So what is happening? Tony Elias is doing a tremendous job of controlling the pace of this race.
The Gerloff went underneath Beaubier, but he got back around. Oh, Beaubier, it looks like he made a bit of a mistake in 6. Now Gerloff's going to go side by side. Beaubier has to check up. So that's a position for the moment. All the while, Tony Elias has got 3 or 4 bike lengths to play with of a lead. And JD Beach hanging back there. Ironman JD Beach is right there. Not taking any shots if he's got anything in the gas tank. And Beach has got to start. Down to Rainy Curve they go for the final time today in the EBC Brakes Superbike race number 1. Tony Elias, full lean angle, looks through the corner, turn number 10. He'll get on the binders hard for turn 11. Nobody close enough to throw a shot at him. He gets through the final corner clean. He goes to the stop, number 1 in the air, and Tony Elias will take the checkered flag and the win here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Garrett Gerloff in second, Cameron Beaubier in third.
hard-fought battle from you and a win in front of your son. He's here this weekend. That's got to feel pretty good. Tell us about your battle at the front.
Oh, you said that and very, yeah, it's been an amazing race. One of my best of my career, I think. The pace was good. I found the pace this morning. Not really good Super Bowl, but Cameron wanted to go at the beginning. I tried to stop, but I started to receive attacks, and I didn't have the super grip in the back. But after some laps, less fuel, the grip arrived. I start to attack too, do my rhythm. They are getting so strong, attacking so hard, and today I decide do the same. One attack, attack back, back attack. And well, it's been really difficult, but I could open a little bit the gap, and it's been amazing. Great battles, great show, the great wins. Thanks to my team for all this work, always being behind me. All the fans come here in Laguna. This is a nice track. Honor to win Rennie with this helmet. He said, now you have to win, and I did it, so very special. And especially because my family is here, my son is here. I'm very happy. Thank you. Thank you.
Today's race winner, Tony Elias, hanging on to his championship points lead. Thanks, Tony.
Here's a look at the results. Tony Elias over Garrett Gerloff by 7/10. Beaubier drifted back 2.4. J.D. Beach, we'll have to find out what happened with him, 7.4 back, as he still has 2 more full races to go this weekend.
When we return, we take an inside look at the job every race fan wants to have. Welcome back to Inside MotoAmerica from Laguna Seca. Here's a quick look at some news from MotoAmerica. This weekend at Laguna Seca, Yamaha announced a new model of their race-winning YZF R1. A familiar evolution of the classic R1, the new machine takes cues from the Japanese manufacturer's experience with worldwide superbike races. Unveiled alongside is also the new YZF R1M. Both are 2020 models and will be available in September this year. Updated electronics, suspension, and improved high RPM performance are amongst a long list of other features. Another bike reveal was from Ducati. They presented a special limited edition bike that's destined for nothing less than cult status. Only 500 will be built. In 2019, a quarter of a century will have elapsed since the Ducati 916 arrived on the global stage, forever changing the superbike world. Ducati has decided to celebrate this anniversary by building a special 916 dedicated version of the Panigale V4. Hence, the genesis of the Panigale V4 25th Anniversario 916. Thrash Bike Racing announced a sponsorship deal with UK-based Integrity Personnel Limited for the remainder of the 2019 season. Thrash bike rider Max Flinders made the deal in his home country last month. This ties the London-based recruitment specialist to the smallest team in the MotoAmerica paddock. For the first half of the season, we've been getting to know the men and women who make up the crews of our racing teams. This week, we turn the camera around onto one of our very own MotoAmerica team members. Most fans would love his job, but good luck getting him to try to give it up. Here's a look at the crew.
My name is Scott Padgett. I'm the Chief Pit Steward for the MotoAmerica Race Series here in the United States. And I've been working grid for professional racing since 2012. I've been with MotoAmerica since their inception in 2015. I actually came here to Laguna Seca in 2005 for the first MotoGP race as a fan and ran into Wayne Rainey, who is obviously a hero of our sport. Got an autograph from him on my ticket, and little did I know that 10 years later, I would be actually working for him. Myself and my grid crew are in charge of the minute-by-minute activities that go on pit lane during the practice and qualifying sessions. And then during the starts of the races, we handle the logistics of the starts, and the most important thing is the safety of the starts. the starts of these races they're dangerous, and they really are. The Superbikes can accelerate to 100 miles an hour in under 4 seconds. It's the most dangerous time of the weekend for our riders. When I'm at the front of the grid, and also my crew, they're up with people on the sides, and everybody is looking for potential issues with what could cause a bike to not be able to launch off. The most dangerous thing that can happen at one of the starts of our races is if a bike stalls. Motorcycles that are coming behind him, there's up to 40 or 50 motorcycles on the grid at the same time, and they just cannot see them, and they can be hit from the rear, and it can obviously, with the power that these motorcycles have, it can be extremely dangerous. We ask our riders that if they have a problem to signal us with their hands, and we pause the start and make it as safe as we possibly can. It takes a lot of coordination, a lot of logistics to keep everything moving and on time and safely. Love the opportunity that I've had to grow in the sport and move my way up through the crew and now be the leader of the crew, actually be out there and start the races. It's pretty exciting.
Join us in 3 weeks as Inside MotoAmerica heads north to Sonoma Raceway. All 5 classes will be challenged by the 2.5-mile, 12-turn circuit. Check your local listings for air times on the NBC Sports Network. More action from WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca when we return.
The Dunlop Pro Dealer Program is Dunlop's support program for the local brick-and-mortar powersport dealer. Rough guesstimate, 85 to 90% of them are family-owned, individual-owned shops. But what the Dunlop Pro Dealer Program does, it helps them as a marketing support mechanism. We give them Pro Dealer exclusive rebates that they can offer their customers to extend a discount. In addition to that, we have DunlopMotorcycleTires.com. On that website, we help the customer find the best tire that fits their bike. And then we have very prominent our dealer locator.
There's been times people have come in, seen us on the Dunlop website listed as a pro dealer, and just wondering what we had to offer. Dunlop sends us email information so we can do promotions and send it right directly to the customer.
There's over 2,700 Dunlop Pro dealers in the U.S. So if you go to DunlopMotorcycleTires.com, go to our dealer locator, enter in zip code or city and state, and you'll find a pro dealer near you.
In August, MotoAmerica heads to Northern California for the Cycle Gear Championship of Sonoma. 2 weeks later, all 5 classes are in Pittsburgh, then New Jersey, followed by the season-ending event in late September at Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama. Inside MotoAmerica will be there to tell the great stories of our riders on and off the track. With only one race this weekend, it makes the uphill climb for Dallas Daniels to pick up some points on the championship leader Rocco Landers just a bit more difficult. Let's go to the action in the Liqui Junior Cup race.
Rocco Landers out front by 8 seconds over this battle between Dallas Daniels, a 69. There he is.
Oh. He's waving to the crowd already, Greg, with 7 of 12 here, but he got a little wide. I think he's probably acknowledging it.
There's the Ninja400R.com, Norton Motorsports, Dr. Farr sponsored Ninja 400 of Rocco Landers, who has had it his way with 6 laps to go. He's got a comfortable 8-second lead. He's only backed it down about 5 or 6 tenths, Jason.
Yeah, this is just him. You can see the front of the bike gets light, so where he wanted to turn, he couldn't. Oh, this must have been another lap, Greg, because he came down there pretty good that time. But that last lap, in that transition, the front wheel kind of got off the ground and he wasn't able to turn it the way he wanted to.
So Rocco's already come across the line at a 37.4, then 38.2 for these two riders, so they've lost another second to the race leader.
Yeah, he's gone 9 seconds. I
Yeah.
mean, crazy. And I'm
Almeida.
just looking to see if, yeah, these two guys, Justin in fourth there, you can see him. He's trying so hard to just get back on par with these guys in front of him, but they're all doing relatively the same time. So these guys are going to fight it to the end.
Kevin Olmedo, is he going to try the outside again into turn 2? He's got that wide line. He's trying him around the outside. Dallas has position, but no, it's going to be Kevin Olmedo for the moment. Daniels, stands him up again.
But that's what we're seeing, right? He gets in there so deep, and he just, the amount of speed that he's carrying, he just can't get that quite turned in the middle. So Dallas is able to control his speed and go the shorter distance around the middle of that turn.
Where's Olmedo going to attack again? There's an opportunity in turn number 5 on the brakes, but you can't brake too fiercely on these motorcycles and lose your momentum. Oh, he's trying him around the outside, Olmedo, trying to get around Daniels.
I think he's going to do it try it up in the corkscrew. Dallas is so strong in the corkscrew, though. He's been able to get rid of people pretty easily up at the top. So we'll see if Daniels can hold him off when they get to the top of the hill here. He's moving over to the left is probably where he should be. Almeida's already committed to going down the right. So Dallas Daniels actually has the line at the top. Yes, he does.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a
turn
bump up there,
now,
too.
Right?
Yeah,
It's going to be
turn
turn
11 now. Unless he tries something crazy and rainy, which is possible, but it takes tremendous, holding your breath. Not going to happen here. Here's the run into turn 10. Olmedo's got to start setting it up now because he's got to have the momentum to get by him.
Dallas clean through.
Here comes Rocco Landers in a commanding victory. We'll take it here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Olmedo goes by him in turn 10. Oh! Snaps it sideways on the gas. Dallas Daniels gets by, and that'll do it for this one. It'll be Dallas Daniels in second. Kevin Olmedo with the last corner, last lap effort. Can't make it stick. And here comes that battle for fifth between Dominic Doyle and Karin O'Gora. She's trying him in the draft. To the line.
So close.
Karin got him.
Wow, top 5 for her. Tremendous effort. Dominic Doyle just got drafted at the line.
A little dap for Rocco Landers.
How were you able to pull such a gap yet again?
Well, I worked really hard before this weekend. If every time you lose a race, you just go, lost a race, I can't do it anymore. That's not good. So I just came back from Utah, just worked really hard between then and now, just tried as hard as possible, and I was able to pull it off.
Got a couple pages for you. It's Rocco, 9.2. Kevin Olmedo, Josh Chernay in fourth. Good ride back for him. Hopefully there's more in it for him. Karin O'Gora, like we said, look at that, 22.980 to 984 over Dominic Doyle. He'll be thinking about that one. And so Rocco's got another 5 points, the difference between first and second. Olmedo, 87 adrift, though, and most of that has to do with his DQ disqualification in round number 2.
Tuck the front. When you lose grip in the front and the front tire folds inward, tucking in toward the track. Usually results in a crash, but can be saved if you catch it quick enough. Welcome back to WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca and round 6 of the MotoAmerica season. I'm with gear expert Luke here at the Cycle Gear Mega Tent. Luke, tell me a little bit about Cycle Gear.
We're the official retailer of the MotoAmerica series this year. That is the United States' premier road racing series. In addition to the series, we also have 145 locations across the country. Here at the race, we offer the biggest selection of the best gear at the best prices.
What specifically is Cycle Gear's involvement within MotoAmerica?
In addition to being the official retailer of MotoAmerica this year, we also are sponsoring 3 race teams. We have Josh Herron and the Yoshimura Suzuki team we sponsor, Kyle Wyman and the KWR Ducati team, and also the Ridiculous Racing guys.
Now you also have some big news coming up for the next round. What is that?
Super big news. Very excited to be the title sponsor of the Cycle Gear Championship of Sonoma, right near our home office in Northern California.
Now, what does Cycle Gear have to offer for fans throughout the weekend?
Big things. In addition to having all this product available for people to touch, try on, feel, we're real big on contributing to the motorcycle racing culture. So it's not just about selling gear. Throughout the weekend for the fans, we have autograph signings. We'll have a schedule, up here for them. Lots of the top names in the game are going to be here, so you can meet face to face and get an autograph. We also have coupons for our stores when they go back home to their local stores and their local teams. We're partnered and have a big fan party going on down on Cannery Row. The street will be blocked off. It's nothing but motorcycles. Completely encompasses the motorcycle racing culture.
Let's say I just got my first bike. What would you recommend for me? I mean, I got to look like I know what I'm doing out there.
Absolutely. First questions include what kind of bike do you ride, what your ride is going to look like, how you plan on riding, where you plan on riding, and we go from there. We can start at boots and go up.
Let's do it. Let's go try some stuff on. In Saturday's Twins Cup race, former MotoAmerica Supersport racer Caleb DeCarroll returned to the series after a couple years away and notched his first career MotoAmerica victory. DeCarroll started from 12th on the grid, but steadily moved to the front and passed the current points leader Michael Barnes and the race leader at the time, Alex Dumas. Dumas and Barnes ultimately finished in 2nd and 3rd respectively. Barnes now has an 18-point lead in the championship standings, and Dumas is in 3rd overall, trailing by 24 points. Californian Andrew Lee won Saturday's Stock 1000 race and extended his championship lead to 11 points over the day's 3rd place finisher, Stefano Mesa. Former World Superbike competitor Jeff May finished 2nd in the race. Lee started from pole with Mesa and May gridded right next to him on the front row, and the race was a battle from the get-go. To wrap up the weekend, the Supersport class took to the track for their one scheduled race at the MotoAmerica Championship of Monterey. Bobby Fong got a great jump off the front row at the start and also got the hole shot over Hayden Gillum. Fong never gave up the lead for the entire race, and Gillum crashed out unhurt. PJ Jacobsen took 2nd and Richie Escalante 3rd. The win vaulted Fong into the Supersport Championship lead with an 18-point advantage over Gillum, who's in 2nd place overall. WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca is known for one of the most iconic turns in all of racing, the famous corkscrew. Known for its 59-foot change in elevation, an equivalent to a 5.5-story drop. Who better to tell us what it's like than some of our riders?
My thoughts on the corkscrew, it reminds me of a roller coaster back home. Just a big drop and you get the butterflies through it. It's awesome.
Honestly, like the first time I went into the corkscrew, I was like, I think I went the wrong way.
Can't see anything until you flip down and you just hope and pray you're still on asphalt and not in the dirt.
In summation, scary.
I love it. It's probably one of my favorite turns on the calendar. I mean, it's famous, it's the corkscrew, it's got the name, and it's a blast to go down.
The corkscrew is pretty cool just because it's a corkscrew, but there's other parts of the track that I enjoy a little bit more.
I really like the corkscrew. It's not as scary as they make it seem, though. I'd say the turn before is a little bit more scary.
I think the corkscrew is a little overemphasized in a way. I think that, it has some historic value to Laguna, and everyone talks about the corkscrew, but if I'm being honest, turn 1 here is a lot more of a, it's hair-raising and very fast. Man, it's a gnarly turn.
Oh, the corkscrew is awesome. I think it's the best 2 turns that we have on the whole circuit.
The corkscrew's awesome because it is what it is and it's so famous, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Turn 1 at Laguna is my favorite turn at any track that we go to.
The corkscrew is super fun. It's kind of crazy the first time going over it. I remember my first lap ever around here, I ran straight through the dirt.
It's a challenging corner. It's one that you have to really make sure you hit your marks, and it's all about the run back down the hill out of it. So it all starts at the top. It's kind of blind and challenging, but it's a lot of fun.
Corkscrew is it's a handful. It's a handful to get the Ducati down it, but we're working on things, and it's one of the coolest corners in all of racing.
Coming up next on Inside MotoAmerica, some of our Superbike riders head to Pebble Beach for a competition a little out of their comfort zone. WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca is one of the most iconic spots in auto and motorcycle racing, loved by fans and riders alike. Before a weekend of racing, 4 of our MotoAmerica Superbike riders joined some of the World Superbike riders at another iconic sports venue, Pebble Beach Golf Links. Driving is a term that is very common in the world of motorsports. However, this week here at Pebble Beach Golf Links, riders from MotoAmerica and World Superbike find a new and just as exciting meaning for the word drive. All right, these guys just finished a long drive competition here at Pebble Beach. How did it go?
I took a lot of swings and, hit the ball a couple times. Not every time, but a couple times. And yeah, ended up making it in the hole. So job done.
Pretty awesome to be out at Pebble Beach, kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So it was cool to be here with all the boys and get to swing a golf club. I had fun.
It's great to be here in Monterey for Laguna Seca this weekend. It's always one of my favorite weeks of the year. I really like the track. I feel like the R1 suits the track pretty well, and we've had some good success here in the past.
Yeah, Laguna's a great track. It's a track I really enjoy, so yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the race weekend started.
To be back is fantastic. Get a few games of golf in, and obviously looking forward to the weekend.
You've golfed together before. How did you do?
Pretty good. It was a little rough off the tee, but I was the first guy on the green, so I'll take that.
When you hit the ball along the ground the whole way, it's not that hard to get it on the green.
I love coming back to the West Coast and racing in California in front of my family and friends and stuff like that. And yeah, looking forward to a good weekend.
We're here and on the Ducati Panigale V4R this year, and I think it's going to be a good track for our bike.
Well, it's safe to say they are better at racing than golfing, so I think we'll leave the golf to the professionals, and we will see you guys at the track this weekend. JD Beach competed in 5 races in 2 days at Laguna Seca. Unfortunately, he did not finish the first race in World Superbike due to a broken OEM shift arm. On day 2, he got caught up in a crash in the corkscrew caused by another rider and didn't finish the World Superbike Super Pole session. He walked away from the crash with no injuries but was banged up and pretty sore. To the surprise of his crew, he showed up for race 2 of World Superbike and ended up in 16th. Admitting taking a gamble on going with a softer tire didn't pay off. He was back on the grid 20 minutes later and ready to go again for MotoAmerica. He's won even more respect from fans and riders alike. When we return, race number 2 of the EBC Brakes Superbikes. Welcome back to WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca and round 6 of the MotoAmerica season. Tony Elias's win on Saturday gave him a 35-point lead over his second-place rival, Cameron Beaubier. Let's get to the action in race 2 and see where they stand after they battle in front of a record-breaking crowd.
It looks like a change of position.
There it is.
Place
It's been coming. I mean, Cameron was literally running up the back of Tony and Elias in a couple spots, but look at Elias. He just goes right back by. It's got to be so frustrating. But, Greg, you got to close that off. And I think when you look at what goes on now, he's going to have the grunt to go by, and now he's going to get swallowed up by Josh Herron as well. Really frustrating, I'm sure, for Beaubier at this point because he wants to go off with his teammate. You could see Gerloff, again, runs into the 24s, 24.874, so almost an identical lap from his first flying lap. Garrett Gerloff would love nothing more than to come around and see +1 on his board. 24.9 that time for Gerloff, so still staying good. Tony Elias goes wide.
So Tony with a mistake in turn number 2, too deep in there, opens the door. His teammate slides on by.
Now we're going to see how Elias handles this because generally he has been going right back by guys. You heard him say yesterday that as soon as he was getting attacked, he wanted to attack right back. But he's got a little bit of movement out of that bike out of turn 4, and that's going to allow Beaubier to have a shot at him now. And Beaubier does. Gets up underneath him going into turn 5, controls his line and speed really, really well. So now Josh Herron is going to be the guy that's going to try to pull himself up to Garrett Gerloff. And we're going to have to keep an eye on Tony's bike.
Yeah, this is the part of the race where I would say, Tony's got a problem, but
we know.
He's proven us wrong over and over and over again. There may be some wheel spin, something he's experiencing, what Tony's doing right now, with the experience I know talking with him, he's analyzing what's going on with his motorcycle. He's going to, over the next few turns, next few laps, figure out how he's going to ride around it. If there is something that's different on the bike, expect him to strike back again.
There you go. Cameron Beaubier is going to go straight to the apex. Now we're going to see if that Yamaha can get out of that corner the best it can. Look, he controlled that. Now if he moves over to the left, that's what I like. Yosh bike just goes right by him, and he's going to have another one that's going to try to do the same thing. I mean, yeah, it's a hard fight for Cameron Beaubier. He's going to take a shot down into turn 2, though, now, Greg. Let's see if he can keep it.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's just good bike control. Tony's trying to do something. Let's see. Josh Herron squares it up again. He's going to go right across the front. Cameron's going to try to do it in turn 3. Let's see if Herron squares him up and goes back to 4-4. He's
back
trying.
and forth they go. Cameron Beaubier and Josh Herron. Wow, it looked like they were going to touch there for a moment. So Herron has the best of them for the moment. But Beaubier, back and forth they go. All the while, here comes Tony Elias, the Scud missile up in the 3rd spot.
And Garrett Gerloff is going, keep at it, boys. Just keep doing that. He's up to a 3.2 second lead. Elias is now back into 2nd place. Beaubier 3rd. Herron shuffled back to 4th. These guys are all going. And look just back there, Greg. We still got JD Beach in the mix. He's sitting there on that Attack Yamaha R1 watching all this stuff go on as well. When they get to the top of this corkscrew, Cameron's got to be really close. Look at that much that bike's backing in. Down through here, he's got to get close enough to Elias that he could try to do something. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Tony move over to the right here because he knows how strong Cameron's been.
So as they head down this hill, Cameron Beaubier trying to fight, doesn't do it. And that could be that for the battle for 2nd spot. But this guy, from pole position to his very first EBC Brakes Superbike victory, wheel in the air, Garrett Gerloff will take the win at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Good battle for 2nd between Tony Elias and Cameron Beaubier. Josh Herron will bring it home in 4th. But how about
so cool
the elated Garrett Gerloff with his first Superbike win underneath the sunshine here in California.
We've been waiting, haven't we? I mean, we really have, and you can see how much it means to him to get your first Superbike win and to do it in front of the World Superbike paddock. Truly amazing.
Garrett Gerloff and Hannah. Unbelievable. Take it, Hannah.
Really strong weekend for you. Very excited, Garrett Gerloff. Had a bit of a scare about halfway through the race there, but you pulled it off. How does it feel to have won your first career Superbike race?
Oh my gosh, it's such just a relief, you know. It's something I've always known that I can do, and it's been on my bucket list ever since I started road racing. So just to finally win, I mean, it's just a win. I know that, but it's just so good. It just kind of all the sacrifices that I've made, that my family's made over the years to finally get to this, and it's just a stepping stone in the long scheme of things. You know, obviously I want to do more, but it just feels finally good just to feel it, to taste it. You know, gosh, I'm so happy. I don't know if you can tell on the cool down lap, but I just yeah, there's so many emotions right now, but gosh, it feels good. I got to give just the biggest thanks to my team. They've been behind me the last year and a half, giving me an awesome bike, Yamaha R1. And all the sponsors behind the team, Yamaha Financial Services, Monster Energy, HJC helmets for me, Cortec leather, CD boots, everybody that's just supported me along the way, that supported the team. I can't thank you guys enough, and I'm just, if you guys have never won like a race or anything, it feels so good. Trust me, especially after you failed so many times. So, gotta give all the glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thanks. Woo!
You definitely want to hang out with Garrett Gerloff because it's going to be a fun time tonight. Yeah. Yep. Garrett Gerloff, his first win, 4.449 will be the margin of victory that he'll remember for an awfully long time. Cameron Beaubier in 3rd spot. Then you had Herron and JD Beach with a good battle. You can see Beach kind of rolled out of it there 2 seconds behind. Schulte in 6th, Jake Gagne 7th, Jake Lewis in 8th, and Cameron Peterson.
And 39 points back is Cameron Beaubier from our leader, Tony Elias, with Garrett Gerloff in 3rd, 65 points back, and anything can happen, Greg. We got a long year ahead of us.
In 3 weeks, Inside MotoAmerica will be at Sonoma Raceway. All 5 classes will battle this hilly course that features just over 160 feet of elevation change. Check your local listings for airtimes on the NBC Sports Network. I'm Hannah Lopa, and for the rest of our Inside MotoAmerica team, thanks for joining us at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. We'll see you in Sonoma.